Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqui and today we have another complete beginner's flow. Last time we focused on standing postures and today we'll focus on seated and lying down postures. If you have a strap or a scarf, please go ahead and get one. And also if you know that you struggle a bit with sitting in a cross-legged position, I'd encourage you to grab a block, a rolled up towel or a cushion to sit under. So go ahead and prepare yourself and come meet me back here on the mat. So let's come find a comfortable seat. Again, if this cross-legged position is a little bit of a struggle for you, go ahead and grab that block or cushion and sit on top of it. And then that will help you to release the knees down a little bit more. So let's all take our hands to the very tip top of our head, the crown of our head, and just bring a bit of awareness to this area. Maybe giving yourself a little massage or a little tickle here. Just bringing your full attention to this area. And then releasing the hands down. Imagine that that area that you've touched is going to lead you forward into these different S, circles, curves, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do with the body. It's a great way to just warm up through the spine and all parts of the body. So close your eyes as you do this. Take any movement that you want, leading with that part of the head that you were touching just before. Try to feel into this with your body instead of thinking with your mind about what it looks like or which direction you should go next. Just moving with how your body is feeling. And there is no right or wrong movement. Begin to notice which parts of your body are still feeling a little bit stiff or tight. Maybe you want to take your body there and just take a few movements in that area to help you loosen up. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll come back up to stillness. Open the eyes. Let's drop the chin to the chest and then roll the head and look up to one side. Press the shoulders down and roll the chin back down. Look up to the other side. Continue just stretching out the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. Let's do one more each side. And then come back to center with the head. Take your fingertips to your shoulders and draw big circles with your elbows. All the way forward, up, back, and down. And then the other way. And then let's open the arms wide into a cactus. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders so they're not dropping down. And you really want to think about reaching the elbows as far away from your body as possible. Spread the fingers wide, face the palms forward, bring a bit of energy into the hands. As we breathe out, press the elbows and the palms together, or almost touching, and then breathe in, opening back up. Breathe out. Press the hands together with resistance, so it's like you're moving through water or some honey. Breathe out, press together. It should feel like there's some effort happening here. One more, breathe out, press together. Breathe in, opening back up. And then reach the arms up to the sky, interlace the fingers, and then press it upwards. Find as much length through your spine and in between each vertebra as possible. You can even wiggle side to side. Try to get as much length and reach as high up as you can. On the next breath out, let's bend over to the right. Press down with your left hip and your left knee. Breathe in back to center. Breathe out, bend to the left. Try to keep the right shoulder rolling back so we're not falling down towards our knee. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, bend back to the first side. Maybe going a little bit deeper. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, bend to the left. Breathe and reach back up. This time we'll twist to the right. Just using the muscles to twist your body. Breathe in, back to center. Breathe out, twist to the left. Breathe in, back to the center. Breathe out, twist to the right. We'll release the hands down. Left hand comes to the right knee. Right hand comes behind. Keep that length in your spine. So it's as if you were still pulling yourself upwards with your hands. And gently pressing the left hand into the right knee to find that deeper twist. Breathe in, reach the arms back up to the sky. Reaching as high up as you can again. Twisting to the left. And then releasing the hands down, keeping the length in the spine. Gently press into your left knee to help you twist a bit deeper. Every breath in, you sit up a little taller. And then on the next breath, let's come back to center and we'll make our way to all fours. So we've got our knees underneath our hips and then the wrists underneath the shoulders. Let's take a few rounds of cat and cow here. So breathing in, let's drop the belly down, reach the tailbone high, roll the shoulders back, look forward or slightly up. And then breathing out, action starting from the core, scoop it in. Tuck the chin and tuck the tailbone underneath as you press the floor away with your hands and knees. Your shoulder blades are reaching as high up to the sky as you can. Breathe and drop the belly back down. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Breathe out, rounding through the spine and pressing the floor away. Continue in your own time, following your own breath. Let's do one more here. Breathe in, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. And then breathing out, rounding through the spine. On the next breath, let's come back to our neutral spine. Curl the toes under, and then press into the feet and lift the hips up into your downward facing dog. Now we want to find a really nice upside down V position here. So if you find your spine and your tailbone are curled under, you really want to lengthen that out by bending the knees as much as you need and then tilting the tailbone up to the sky. You see this action here of just flattening out the spine and tilting the tailbone up. And then pressing the floor away as much as you can with your hands so that your shoulders will actually come up to your ears. And from here you can walk out the feet. Just dropping one heel and then the other. And then coming back to stillness, softening through your knees, but still pressing down through the heels. So you want a nice energy of going down through the heels even if they don't touch the ground. And then you can also press your chest a little closer to your thighs. And then let's drop down onto our knees, untuck the toes, and come to sit back on your heels. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can take the pillow or a roll-up towel and place it in between your bum and your feet. Let's take the left arm up overhead and we'll take our cow face arms. So left arm goes behind. Right arm goes underneath, and if you can, you try to hook onto the fingers. Otherwise, you grab onto your shirt. Or you can also take the right hand and guide your left elbow back, up, and center. So staying here for a few breaths. Trying not to let the ribs splay out either, so keep the core in. Try to breathe into your chest. One more breath here. And then very gently releasing the arms and coming forward onto all fours. Knees under the hips and wrists underneath shoulders. Let's extend the right leg back. Flex the toes. Take a look back. Your right hip bone is your right hip bone pointing down to the mat, and are your toes pointing down to the mat? If you've got your hip lifted and your toes pointing to the side, you need to turn your foot down and turn your hip down. From here, engage the belly and then extend the left arm forward. So you've got opposite arm to leg. Let's point the right toes now. Nothing else changes, just pointing the toes. And then tap the fingers on the toes down and then lift them back up. Tap them down, lift them up. Try not to move your torso and let the belly drop and sink into the hip and the shoulder. So you're always pressing the floor away with the knee and the hand and engaging the belly. You're just moving the arm and the leg. Nothing in the torso is changing. All right, next breath, let's bring the knee and the elbow to touch. Press the floor away, scoop the belly in. Breathe in, extend the arm and the leg. And then breathe out, bring the hand and knee back down to the mat. Let's sit back on our heels and we'll take our cow face arms on the other side. Right arm goes overhead. Left arm comes behind, again grabbing onto whatever you can, your fingers, your shirt, or taking the left arm over top and guiding the right elbow towards the center. And breathing deeply here into your chest. Trying not to let your ribs splay out either. Just one more breath here. And then very gently releasing the arms, coming back onto all fours. And then this time we'll extend the left leg back. Flex the toes, take a peek back. Is your hip bone and are your toes pointing down to the mat? If so, great. If they're pointing out to the side, just turn them down and drop that left hip. Extend the right arm to the top of your mat. Point the left toes. And just lower, tap, and reach up. Lower, tap, reach up. Again, really holding the core nice and tight here. Nothing moves in the torso. Isolating the movement in the arm and the leg only. And then bringing the knee and elbow to touch underneath the body. Scoop the belly up. Press the shoulder blades up to the sky. And breathe in, extend the arm and the leg. And then lower it back down to the floor. Nice job. Let's curl the toes under. Come back into downward facing dog. Walk out the feet here. And then walk the feet with small steps all the way up to your hands. Feet come to hip width distance apart. Bend the knees as much as you need. Grab onto opposite elbows and we'll take a ragdoll here. Just sway the body from side to side. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure it's nice and loose. Stretching out the backs of your legs and your lower back. And then release the arms down to the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need. We try to release the hands, a little challenge here. If you can sit all the way down without using your hands. If you have to use your hands, that's no problem. Just go ahead and use your hands to sit down. From here, take the arms back, fingers pointing towards your feet. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest up, breathing into your chest. Try to find this nice straight spine. If you find that you're rolling down here in the lower back, you really want to press this part forward and up. From here, take your weight forward a little bit and release your hands. A little bit more engagement in the core here. And then we'll release the legs. More engagement. All right, you can grab onto the backs of your legs. That makes it a little bit easier. But always try to roll the shoulders back and keep this nice straight spine. And then extend the arms forward. If you want to take a little more of a challenge, you can also extend the legs to take it even further. This works your core a little bit more and also your hip flexors. So take the variation that suits you. And then, I know this is a complete beginner's class, but I didn't say it would be fully easy. So we're going to try something if you want to go for it. Otherwise, just stay here and continue working your core and your legs. All right, if you want to come with me, we're going to roll into the lower back and then lower the legs almost touching the ground. Flatten out the spine so that your hand actually cannot slip underneath. You're really engaging your core. And then lift back up. You can bend the legs for this one. All right, lower down. Roll onto the lower back, flatten out the spine. Really reaching forward with those toes, engaging every muscle in your body to hold yourself here. And then lifting back up. All right, nice job. Let's do that 2 more times. This time, you can take the same variation, lower down, or you can take your arms overhead. This will bring more weight into the upper body, which makes it a little bit harder. And then come back up. All right, one last time. Rolling onto the lower back. Straighten the legs, reach the arms overhead if you're taking this variation. Hold for 5, 4, tension through the body, 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1, come back up. Oh, yeah. All right, nice job. That was hard, but I'm sure you did really well. Let's take the arms back, fingers pointing towards the feet again. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up to the sky. Find that nice straight spine. And then on the next breath in, we've got our feet hip width distance and our arms about shoulder distance. So breathe in, we'll lift the hips up, pressing the hands and feet into the mat. Take your gaze up to the sky. We're not going to drop the head back. We're going to keep it nice and long with the spine. And then lower the hips all the way down. 2 more times. Breathe in, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Find the length and straightness through your spine. And then lift the hips up. And breathing out, lower back down. You can take the same variation again, or you can straighten out the legs this time. Bring the big toes to touch and a little internal rotation of the legs. So that means you spin your kneecaps to face each other just a little bit more because they have a tendency to roll out to the sides when you go up. So we start the same way. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Breathe in, press the tops of the soles of the feet down and the hips up to the sky. Press the floor away with the hands so we're not sinking into the shoulders in whichever variation you're in. Holding for 5, 4, lift the chest up. 3, keep breathing, hips go up. 2, and 1. Nice job. Release it down. All right, come to sit back on the forward front sitting bones. Reach the arms up to the sky, interlace the fingers, and then reach up again as high as you can, flexing the toes and pressing the backs of the knees down. Breathing out, let's spin and twist to one side. Breathing in back to center. Breathing out, twist to the other side. Breathing in back to center, keeping the length. Just release the hands down. Hinge forward with your hips, reaching your chin towards your shin. That's the direction that it's going. And then lower the hands down to wherever they reach. Maybe your head comes down as well. Always pressing the backs of the knees down into the mat and curling your toes towards your knees. So we'll take a few breaths here. Try to relax with the upper body as much as you can, even though your legs are slightly active. One more breath here. And then on the next breath, coming back up, take the arms behind, relax the legs and roll them from side to side. Feeling the blood rushing back down towards your toes. All right, we're going to come to lie down on our back with our strap. So go ahead and grab that. And then lay yourself down on the mat. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a nice big hug. And then lower the left leg all the way down to the mat. We'll take our strap, fold it in half so there's a loop, and then put that loop over the sole of your right foot. So lengthen this as much as you need. And then you can gently pull the leg a little bit closer. You can use bent legs, will work more into your hips, or you can straighten the leg, which will work more into your hamstrings. So gently you pull the leg a little bit closer, walking the hands down your strap towards your foot. So take it to the point where you feel a slight stretch anywhere, and then hold it there. Try to keep the left hip down so it's not spinning up or dropping too far down on the other side. Keep the shoulders nice and even as well. Just feeling this into our leg, maybe our lower back and hips as well. Alright, on the next breath, let's take the left hand down towards the left thigh, and we're going to press it down so that when we take our right leg out to the side, this left hip is not going to raise. So only lower the right leg as far as you can keep this hip in the same position. So taking the right leg out to the side. If you find that you go too far and this hip lifts up, just come back, find the edge, and then stay there. You can also be doing this with bent legs, or if you find that this is more intensive a stretch, you can release the length of the strap a little bit more. So it's just up to you. Keep pressing down with this left hand on the left side. Taking just one more breath here. And then using your core and your inner thigh muscles of this right leg, lift it back up to the center. Release the strap. Take both legs up to the sky and shake them out. Alright, hug the knees into the chest again. And then release the right leg down. Grab your strap and hook the loop over your left foot. Again, straight or bent leg, up to you, but try to do the same on each side, and then slowly walking the hands up the strap until you find the point where you feel a stretch. And staying here for a few breaths. Trying also to press the sacrum, so the very lowest part of your spine down, so it's not curling up towards the sky. So here we're trying to flatten that part out. And then on the next breath, the right hand comes to the right thigh, press it down, and bring the left leg out to the side, only as far as you can keep the engagement and the right hip down. And holding here. A few breaths. If you're shaking, also like me, then that's totally fine and totally normal. It just means that you are working your muscles. Alright, one more breath. Keep pressing the right hip down. And then using your core and the inner muscles of your left leg, pull yourself back up. Release the strap to the side. Take the legs up and shake them out. And then release the legs all the way down the length of your mat. Take the hands and place them underneath your bum. Palms facing down, so keep the arms straight, and then turn the elbows in towards your body so that you've got the part that bends, it's facing up towards the ceiling. Bring the big toes to touch, legs are active. Point the toes. On the next breath in, you'll bend the elbows, lift the chest up to the sky, and then drop your head back, placing the crown of your head, or close to, onto the mat. The legs are still pressing down to the mat, and pretty much all the weight is on my arms. So there's hardly any weight on my head. Breathe into your chest. Press the legs down. Press the forearms down. One more breath here. And then very slowly pressing down into the arms even more. Lift up the chest a bit. And then come back to lying down. Release the arms from underneath your hips. Palms facing up. And just lay here for a breath or two. Noticing the sensations going up and down your body. On the next breath, bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Roll from side to side. And then bring both knees over to the left side of your mat. Bring the arms wide into the shape of a letter T, or you can even bring them into cactus at 90-degree angles. It's up to you. Your gaze will be up to the sky or over towards your right arm. And from there you can close down your eyes. Try to keep this right shoulder pressing down into the mat. And sink the right knee on top of your left. Soften your belly and through your chest. Try to find total relaxation here. on the next breath. Slowly come back up to the center, bring the knees into your chest. And then bring both knees over to the right side of your mat. Arms wide or arms in a T. Gaze up to the sky or over towards your left arm and then close down your eyes. Imagine someone was gently pressing down on your left shoulder and your left knee. You can even do that yourself. You'll find a little bit more of a deeper twist when you have that engagement there. Try to really soften and relax down. And then very gently coming back up to the center. Give yourself one last big hug. And then extend the legs long for Shavasana. If the legs turn out to the side, then just let them. Arms by other side, palms facing up, micro tuck of your chin. And feel yourself completely relaxed from your toes and your feet through your legs, letting your hips sink down and feel heavy, softening through your belly and your chest, relaxing all the muscles up and down your spine, releasing any tension in your fingers and hands, your arms and your shoulders, allowing your head to feel heavy, unclenching your jaw, your cheeks and your eyes, releasing any tension in the space in between your eyebrows. And just letting yourself sink down deeper and deeper. And then slowly bringing your awareness back down to the palms of your hands. Notice a ball of energy accumulate in the palms of your hands. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your ankles and wrists. And then roll over to your favorite side, keeping your eyes closed and using your arms as a pillow. And taking a moment here to thank yourself for showing up on your mat today and for coming to practice. Slowly press yourself back up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me for another Complete Beginner's Flow. Again, I really hope that you learned something and found something to take away with you. And if you want more full-length beginner flows, please check out my 10-day beginner yoga challenge down in the description box below. And yeah, please make sure to subscribe and also leave a comment as to how you feel after today's practice. I'll see you next time here on the mat. Bye.